My name is Flyin Brian J. This is MMAmania.com, and apparently we're supposed to talk about the main event of UFC 215, which takes place on the 9th of September 2017, or this coming Saturday, between the flyweight champion Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, where he defends his belt against the Taz-Mexican Devil, Ray Borg. I'm recording this video on the 7th of September, and let me tell you this. The Taz-Mexican Devil Borg is going to knock Demetrious Johnson out with one punch this coming Saturday. I don't truly believe that, but if it happens, I want to just cut that part out where I say the date and then my pick, and then publish that so I look like a mystic. I really don't think that Ray Borg is going to win. Of course, not many people do. So instead of just saying Demetrious Johnson is going to murk him in my actual breakdown, let's talk about how Ray Borg could get this darn thing done. Of course it is mixed martial arts, so anybody has a puncher's chance. Ray Borg against Jacare Formiga landed a couple of rear hand uppercuts that looked pretty vicious but didn't seem to stun Jacare. But it's 4-ounce gloves and it's mixed martial arts. Anything could really happen. Ray Borg, though, only has one KO or TKO on his entire resume. So the more likely path to victory for Ray Borg would be via submission, where he's really, really good at grappling. He got into mixed martial arts when he was 13 because the school he went to didn't have wrestling. So he started the training in mixed martial arts, and he's a really good grappler. He's not that great with takedowns or that great with takedown defense, but it does not matter. If somebody takes him to the ground, his scrambling ability is second to almost none. I mentioned his fight with Jacare Formiga. When they headed to the third round, Ray Borg was visibly tired. He looked to be pretty darn gassed. And Jacare got his back, which ordinarily you got a tired fighter with a high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner on your back. It's not going to look good for you. But no, Ray Borg is masterful at getting his shoulders small, turning his hips and getting out of those positions. He went out the back door and ended up getting Jacare's back and getting some ground and pound on Jacare, even though, like I said, he was gassed already. And he's good at defending takedowns sometimes. Statistically, his takedown defense is not great, but he's good at hitting Darce chokes, opportunistic with his guillotines, and that would be his path to victory against Demetrious Johnson. Of course, Demetrious got put in a guillotine early against Tim Elliott. So if Tim Elliott could put somebody in a bad predicament, so could Ray Borg. It's not like Demetrious Johnson, even though he is masterful in a lot of areas that we're going to talk about in a moment, but he's not impervious to damage. He's not impervious to being submitted via guillotine choke or being put unconscious by any method, really. So Ray Borg, if he's going to get it done, I think that he puts together a mad scramble early on in this fight before we're getting tired, mind you, because I think after the second round, that's when Ray Borg is going to get tired. But when they're both dry early on, when he's not tired, I think that he could sink in a Darce choke against Demetrious Johnson. Now, do I think it's going to happen? No. Is it worth possibly throwing a little sprinkle on? Because if it were to happen, you could win a lot of money. Well, perhaps. Demetrious Johnson is minus 1,200 or so to just win straight up. So he's not even parlay fodder if you're going to do that. But I do think Demetrious Johnson is going to get this victory. If you were to look at the tail of the tape and you think, okay, so Tim Elliott got the better of Demetrious early because he has size advantage and he is funky with his grappling. Ray Borg is funky with his grappling. And even though Demetrious is the flyweight king, he's a really small dude, so perhaps Ray Borg could have a size advantage on him. But no. Looking at the tail of the tape, Ray Borg is only 1 inch taller and actually at a 3-inch reach disadvantage to Demetrious Johnson. Then further down the road, Demetrious lands more strikes per minute, absorbs less strikes per minute, absorbs less percentage of the strikes thrown at him. Demetrious has better, statistically, offensive takedowns and defensive takedowns as well. So on the tail of the tape, there's really nothing to say about Ray Borg. And then, of course, Demetrious Johnson has probably the highest fight IQ in mixed martial arts. I know Ray Borg, on UFC Embedded, he said that he has the best fight IQ that Demetrious Johnson has ever seen, and he's better at scrambling than everybody else. He's right on at least one of those. He's better at scrambling than most anybody that Demetrious Johnson has ever fought. But the fight IQ thing, I mean, sure, I can't really argue it. I'm not giving them a test. They're not taking the Iowa test of basic skills here to see who's the smartest guy in the world. But I just don't believe that he's going to have as high a fight IQ as Demetrious Johnson. He's not as quick. Where he has one area that's good for him is he is 7 years younger than Demetrious Johnson, which, if you know Fightnomics by Reed Kuhn with Kelly Krieger, according to them, a fighter with a 6+ year youth advantage, wins 65% of the time. So that's a little bit of a feather in Ray Borg's cap, but Demetrious Johnson is magnificent with body control. He's very, very fast. He's really, really devastating in the clinch with knees to the body. He's got good movement. There's really no area of skill that Demetrious Johnson lacks. People are going to say, oh, well, he can't beat the guys at 135. Well, this fight's going to be taking place at 125 pounds, which, by the way, Ray Borg better be careful and actually make the weight, because if he weighs in just 0.2, 0.1, anything above 125 pounds, my bet is that Demetrious Johnson calls the fight off, because he is not going to risk a loss or even a win when he's not actually defending his belt. If you didn't know, Demetrious Johnson is going for his 11th title defense, which will beat Anderson Silva's official record, but really, we all know, it will tie Anderson Silva's title defense record because Luter missed weight and Anderson Silva actually really defended his belt 11 times. Nonetheless, my prediction is Demetrious Johnson winning with a third round something. The guy is so well-rounded that I cannot be confident in saying he's going to knock him out or he's going to get a submission, whatever it is, but I think Ray Borg will get tired after the 10-minute mark and Demetrious Johnson will turn up the volume, put a pace on him, put the smack down, however he decides to finish it, that's how he's going to do it. And I've got Demetrious Johnson inside the distance. If you're a betting man, not saying to do this, but Demetrious is just like minus 115 to win inside the distance. I think that's a decent line, whatever. Maybe think about doing that. Tell me who you're picking and how in the comment section down below. Please give the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. I'll set a goal. Let's give it 17. It would mean a lot again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Namaste.